I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody...
What's up, guys? I'm Dave, the Roof Poppy, here today to talk to you about a meeting that we had earlier today. There were a lot of things that we had on the table to discuss, and one of the most important ones to me was going to be the perspective, and how your individual perspective is everything. We went around the room and we asked people to tell us a little bit about themselves as if we were all perfect strangers. And people started talking about, well, you know, I'm into sports and I got shorter by an inch last year, and I believe that the universe has an overlying power that everyone should believe in, whether it's this or that or the other. And I said, okay, when it got to me, I said, guys, y'all are hell of a salespeople, because all the philosophical bullshit y'all spouted, and nobody said what 99% of the people would say, which is, hi, I'm Dave, I've got 2 beautiful daughters and live in Texas. That's typically the response you're gonna get from people when you ask them to tell them a little bit about yourself when they're strangers. The point of that exercise was to get people to listen to what people were saying so that they can figure out who they are. In conversations, people will tell you who they are if you're willing to listen to them speak. The things that they say, the way that they carry themselves even, can be a very good indication of who somebody is. Now, in the exercise, as we were going through this, we understood now that what I mean by listen to what they say, it's, do they practice what they preach? Are they using words like, I can't, I tried, it's too hard? And I know that all of us have somebody in our immediate lives that we're familiar with that says things like, if it wasn't for this, that I would be here. If it wasn't for this person, I would have that. There's lots of people in our lives that perpetuate that victim stance, and they say it through their actions. They let you know who they are. And then there's people in your lives that you have that say, I win, I can, I should, I will. They are, the dominating spirit between the two is not a spirit of fear. This one over here is a spirit of, well, let's just call it a winning mindset. It is a spirit of strength and courage. You have a lot of people that'll run around and blame where they're at on this person and that person, or why they don't have what they don't want for whatever reason. The God's honest truth is that we all have fucking excuses that we can make up with, right? We have kids, we have lives outside of work, we have situations in our personal world that are kind of shaping and evolving everything that we do and think and say. And so at any point in time, anybody has all the excuses that they could possibly want, right? And the people that are constantly making the excuses are the ones that are probably the least successful. You can listen to a person talk and they will tell you by how they carry themselves, what they think and feel, how they communicate with each other. Their winning mindset, they will tell you how successful they are going to be. I can almost promise you that this is a benchmark, right? People that go from career path to career path every 3 years, or fad diet to fad diet every 3 years, or, you know, this mindset this year and this political agenda this year, and whatever the case may be, right? Winners are incredibly consistent, okay? And losers fucking really love to lose. And the simple fact is, you can't occupy space in both a losing mentality and a winning perspective and a winning mindset. You cannot occupy space in both of those at the same times. Then there's those are the losers, the I can'ts, the I tried and I didn't get, and those are the fucking losers, right? Losers lose and winners win. We all understand that. The winners look at problems and obstacles and think, what can I do to solve this? How do I get around this obstacle? How do I get through this barricade, this boundary, this roadblock? You don't hear about successful people using consistent words like I can't, I won't, don't. They don't. Those types of thoughts and those things do not occupy their space because they have so little room to produce real growth in that area. And that's really going to be the biggest difference between losers and winners. And when I'm talking about losers, I don't mean people that are just losers and scum. I mean having that mentality or occupying that space or allowing yourself to be in that position. That to me is losers. The reason why you don't see that is because we don't have time for that shit. Plain and simple, I cannot live there with you. I'm so sorry about that. Number two, we choose to overcome these things. It is a constant choice to be incredibly consistent and to know for a fact that you are going to overcome your obstacles no matter what. Maybe you don't have a plan yet. Maybe you don't have all the steps mapped out on what you're going to do. Maybe you're still trying to dream this thing up. But the fact is you're moving forward, and that's a lot more than what other people can even say. That's going to be having a winning mindset. That's going to be learning how to reframe your mind and take a negative to a positive. To be able to look at it in a different light and say, hey, tests suck. Exams suck. But what if it wasn't a test like a form? What if this was a test of your will? Bring it on. I like those tests. I occupy well in those tests. They're not always fun. Sometimes life will test you and it's not enjoyable. This shit is not always pleasant. The real reality is, the truth is, that if you can look at a test as an opportunity to overcome something, then you create milestones. And these are blips on the map, points on your timeline of your life that people brag about. That's the shit that they put in your eulogy, your milestones. But you don't get the milestones if you don't take the test. I promise you there's a lot of people that are gonna come to me and they're gonna say, Dave, you know, I've been tested in this avenue and it didn't produce anything good for me. Yeah, how do you overcome, you know, this and this happens to you when you're a kid, or this happens to you, you know, after high school, or this, Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Because the honest truth is, you made it. Here you are. So how did you create your milestone? That's what I want to know. If you're going to ask me that, I want to know how you created your milestone. A test is a challenge, and it's designed to build grit and endurance. It's not always going to be fun, and you're going to get angry. Get intense. Get very deliberate about overcoming obstacles in your life. Focus on producing the results. It's not the problem that winners think about. And this is where a lot of people get it. Oh, they're really good at solving problems. Winners are good at taking action. Winners are good at developing a plan, taking action, and then trying to decide if they need to mitigate their plan. In the Marine Corps, they call this an OODA loop. You're constantly going through this cycle, this assessment, making a decision, moving in a direction, and then reassessing the situation. Winners are good at building and creating momentum. They move. That's the biggest difference. Winners win, losers lose. How winners win is by having a powerful mindset, not being afraid to take action on this shit, and they're willing to accept the challenge. An obstacle, like I said, is not always something that's in your path. Sometimes it's something that's designed for you to develop a new skill. The thing that I always think about when people talk about obstacles in life is the American Ninja Warrior stuff. And I've got some friends on my Instagram and my Facebook that have actually done this stuff. Husband and wife team, as a matter of fact. Met them in a gym a long time ago. The point is, as new obstacles are developed in this, this feat of athleticism, they have to train to develop new skills to overcome these obstacles. And the same thing is done in personal life. The same thing is done in sales. The same thing is done in fatherhood, motherhood. I don't care what it is. Figure out how you can take whatever you're struggling with and turn it into a milestone. Winners don't fuck with negative perspectives. And negative perspectives don't fuck with winners. I'm Dave Taggart. I'm the Roof Poppy. I appreciate you.